marriage tends to drift. Relationships tend to drift. We allow things to become sore spots. We allow things to rub us the wrong way. We would avoid certain conversations. And then we looked up and we were further apart than we ever intended to be, and further apart than we ever wanted to be, or even that I think we ever imagined ourselves being. And so being able to implement this was life-changing for us. This isn't a therapy session. It's not a vision moment. This is a moment for us to just get aligned and come together and be on the same page. And if we do that every single day, it helps us to do that throughout our entire lives.
Yeah. Hey there, welcome back to the Greater Marriage Podcast. Hey, do me a favor real quick and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. That way, as soon as we release a new episode, you are the first to find out about it. You can also follow us on your favorite social media platforms by just searching Greater Marriage. You'll find us there with clips from episodes, encouraging marriage tips, all kinds of things that we would love to send your way. So connect with us over there. Today is a very special day. This might be news to Dustin.
Oh, buddy. Here we go. Okay.
It's definitely news to Dustin.
Why is this a special?
Judging by that response. Today is our engagement anniversary.
April 20th. It's April 12th. April 12th? April 27th.
7th. Wow.
Start over. That was really bad. Oh, man. Congratulations, guys. My parents' anniversary is April 20th. We got married in 2012. I'm giving you reasons why I just got all the dates wrong. We got engaged on April 27th. We got married exactly 6 months later on October 27th. Just letting you guys know, I do know when we got engaged.
Happy engagement anniversary.
Happy engagement anniversary. Definitely news to me, but here we are.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Yeah, 14 years in, you know?
Oh, look at us. It's funny. We had a conversation last night about how unromantic our anniversaries are now, because we're like, listen, it's been plenty of years. That's how many years it's been. Plenty. And we love it.
15 is going to be a good one. 15 will be a big one.
It's going to be great. 10 was great. Now we're just in that middle season, you know? I saw a video the other day on the internet of this guy walking, and he and it's his birthday's coming by, and 18, he's like, yeah, psh, high five. And then it's he takes probably 5 steps, and then it's 19, psh, and then it's 20, psh, 21, psh. And he gets smacked in the face, and then it's 25, and then he just starts getting pummeled by 30, 35, 40. That's
how it feels.
How it feels, And in the same, our wedding anniversary just kind of, it catches, it feel like it happens a little quicker every year.
Well, I'll give it to you. It's our engagement anniversary. So it's not the anniversary. Still special.
Still special, yeah.
Fun fact, Dustin, the first and last time I've ever heard Dustin play the guitar and sing was for our wedding anniversary. Our engagement.
Heather never thought about saying no until that moment. She heard me playing jung jing jong jung jong jung with my tone deaf voice, just trying to.
It was so sweet.
Swoon her.
You actually recorded that, and 14 years later, I have never seen
deleting that footage for forever. That footage will no longer exist.
Oh, man. Okay, well, I guess in honor of our engagement anniversary that Dustin knew nothing about, today we are going to talk about the 10-minute meeting that changes everything, because this changed everything for us. Those first few years of our marriage, we were horrible at doing this. And once we implemented this, it's kind of morphed and changed over the years with us and with seasons. And as we've gotten better about more naturally weaving it into our day and our conversation. But this 10-minute meeting is a staple connection point for married couples.
If you've ever listened to our podcast, if you've ever listened to Heather and I speak about marriage, about communication, we care. And we always stress the importance of intentionality when it comes to your communication, your marriage, knowing the dates of which you were engaged or married. Be very intentional about these things, everyone, because they could catch you off guard in a moment's notice. No, but we're very intentional about that time together. And, we have a couple of episodes. If you don't know this, you should go back and listen to these. We have episodes about a marriage retreat weekend, a vision weekend, where you actually set aside days and hours to dream and pray and talk and communicate and think through the future. This is not that. Mm-hmm. That is very important. Yes. Getting away, spending time together, going on dates, all of those things are very important. This is the everyday building foundational moment of just, hey, we should have a few minutes of intentional time together where we talk through all of the details of our lives and kind of cover some of the little things so that this is just that small course correction throughout the day, throughout the week that keeps you on track. Marriage tends to drift. Relationships tend to drift. This is us just simply staying on track. This isn't a major thing. This is a minor thing that becomes a major thing if you don't do it. And we learned that early on because we wouldn't talk about little things. We allowed things to become sore spots. We allowed things to rub us the wrong way. We would avoid certain conversations. And not having a daily check-in allowed us to drift. And then we looked up and we were further apart than we ever intended to be and further apart than we ever wanted to be, or even that I think we ever imagined ourselves being. And so being able to implement this was life-changing for us. This isn't a therapy session. It's not a vision moment. This is a moment for us to just get aligned and come together and be on the same page. And if we do that every single day, it helps us to do that throughout our entire lives.
Yeah. And this also, on the contrary to that, isn't just a business meeting.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that is a piece of it. And we're gonna break this into 4 simple categories, a framework that you can use for these 10-minute meetings, plus or minus. Sometimes these meetings look like 3 minutes for us. Sometimes these look more like 20 minutes because we really just get, going on a certain area. But these also aren't business meetings. We love for this to be kind of a mesh of the two. It's like, hey, let's deal with what we need to deal with to make sure that we're on the same page. But then let's also make sure that we as a couple are connecting and remembering that this isn't just a business relationship. This isn't just checking the boxes of you doing this and me doing this. But there is such a greater picture than that we have to keep in front of us every day.
Yeah, you want to try to bookend this meeting with life.
Yeah.
Life-giving coming in and life-giving going out, and making sure that we are the priority, not the details. The details are not the priority of this meeting.
Well, that's hard for me to hear.
Yeah. Listen, the ethereal is the priority of this meeting. No, your spouse is the priority of this meeting.
Yeah.
Your marriage is the priority of this meeting, not the details. The details help you align, but that is not the priority. And we're going to walk through just a few quick steps. This is going to be very practical in a pretty short episode today, but we want to walk you through a few short steps of how to have this 10-minute meeting that will change everything for you. So babe, go ahead. Number 1.
Okay. Number 1, start with acknowledgement and appreciation. And in this, we want to be really specific.
Yeah.
This is a time to really let our spouse know that we see what they're doing during the day. Maybe this is just like, hey, thanks for making the bed this morning. Like I went in there to make it and it was already done. Appreciate that. Doesn't have to be anything extravagant, or just, hey, thanks for going to work today. Like I appreciate that you're putting your hand to the plow and providing for our family. That's a big deal. Just making each other feel seen as human beings. We all have that innate desire to be seen and to be appreciated and heard. And so being each other's biggest cheerleader, I mean, I don't ever want anyone to champion you more than I do. Yeah. But if I'm not making a point to do that on a regular basis, it's easy to just get in the groove and the flow and to not call out those things that I see you working hard at.
It's okay to appreciate common things.
Yeah.
It's okay to appreciate the thing that your spouse does every single day without thinking about it, right? And it's okay to call those things out. We should be calling those things out. We get so used to just, all right, you do this thing, I do that thing. You handle breakfast, I handle lunches. We get the kids out the door, I go to work. It's like we get used to this just every day. Life looks the exact same, and we forget to call out like, hey, it's a big deal that you do that for our kids. It's a big deal that you do this for our home. I love getting to partner with you in this thing. Just allowing ourselves to be able to encourage one another in the little things.
I would even venture to say that calling out those common things mean more. Because it's like when you think about, holidays, I always tell you, don't buy me flowers on Valentine's Day. I want flowers on the random Tuesday afternoon.
On April 27th, the day we got engaged.
On the day where there's no reason except that you just see me and you want me to know that you love me. Yeah. It's the same way with the compliments. It's like if I plan this massive party and you're like, hey, thanks for planning the party. It's like, you're welcome. Like, I'm glad to hear that. But more than that, like you noticing the small things that maybe I don't even notice because they've become so much a part of my daily routine, that makes me feel even more seen because it's like, oh, wow, like he took time to notice something tiny. Like that speaks volumes even more than the big stuff.
Yeah. And being able to, this opens the heart of your spouse because our next point is to cover the logistics. And if we can come in with appreciation and come in with acknowledging something about our spouse, it just opens their heart to the conversation of like, hey, I know we need to handle business right now, but more important than business is you and how I see you and how I feel about you. And it's a big deal that you do those things every day. And I do see them. I do see you. I do love you. Now, let's get this onto the business stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Like, let's handle the logistics. What does this week look like? Let's talk about all the things you've probably already told me 4 times this week. I just want to go over them just to make sure I already know what you're going to say. I know what's going on this week. I already checked the calendar and I for sure definitely know it all. But if you could just maybe if we could just go through it together. Maybe you start and you say it first and then I'll say it after you. And just so we can make sure that we're on the same page and make sure that we together know all the details of the week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I need that refresher of all the things that I added to the calendar.
It's like the Lord telling us to remind him of his word. You know, it's like, Lord, you know your word, but I'm going to remind you of your word because I also know your word. And so it's like, you know, babe, I need to remind you of the details.
That's quite the stretch.
But if you could remind me first. And I need the Holy Spirit to remind you of what I need to remind you of. You know what I'm saying? So.
All right. You went there to say all that to say when there's a lot of moving pieces, just making sure you're on the same page, having each other covered, even if it's like, oh my gosh, I'm double booked here. How can we figure this out?
Yeah.
Problem solving together so that weight doesn't just fall on one person. Now, of course, there's naturally going to be lanes that one spouse takes the reins on over the other spouse, but just being aware of that. I mean, we share our calendar and even like my work things, I had
your calendar. Yeah, we do.
We share my calendar. But even my work things, I was keeping on a separate calendar and merging for myself so that you weren't overwhelmed getting my stuff. And you were like, no, I want to see your work stuff because I want to know like what you have going on in your day too. And I love that because then, you know, if I've got, you know, client meetings all afternoon, like, and you go to text me and I don't respond right away, you understand why. Or even more importantly than that, when you text and say like, hey, how did this go? It's just another opportunity for us to be in each other's worlds.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. And speaking of being in each other's worlds, number 3 is check in emotionally. So you came in with acknowledgement, appreciation. Now you handled some of the details. Now I was like, okay, great. The details are handled. We understand the business of the week. How are you? What's weighing heavily on you this week? What about this week are you dreading? What are you not looking forward to? How can I be praying for you? What are you looking forward to? Like, what do you get to do this week that's encouraging to you and that's a win for you? And being able to understand that about one another means the world. Being able to check in on some of the sore spots, like, hey, what have I done this week that got under your skin? Or what did I not, what could I do this week to not get under your skin? What could I do this week to help you? What could I do this week to lift up your arms a little bit and take some pressure off of you? Being able to check in emotionally after understanding what the week looks like really helps just kind of solidify how your spouse is the heart of this conversation and your marriage is the heart of this conversation. Again, this isn't a business meeting. This is a quick check-in to make sure that we're good, you're good, and that we have the best approach to the week.
Yeah, that's good. And then the last one is connection and intentionality. So find one way to stay emotionally connected. Maybe this is praying together. Maybe this is taking a minute to dream about something that you put on paper at your vision weekend, you know, to check back in on some of those things. Yeah. This format of these 4 categories isn't black and white, like you have to spend X amount of minutes on each category. This is just kind of a framework of how we like to have conversation. It's kind of like that plus minus plus method that we use, you know, when we have to have hard conversations, we come in with encouragement, then we deal with the stuff that maybe isn't as fun, and then we leave with encouragement. And it just allows the conversation to flow that much easier. But each of these are necessary, and I think that each of them feed into the next.
Yeah, if you can make a plan at the end of this meeting of, okay, now that we know how each other, we appreciate each other, we know what's going on this week, we understand what's going to be heavy, what's not. plan a time to actually set aside, do a coffee, do a date, do something, or even if it's just a morning that you have together after you drop the kids off, or like an evening dinner, or after you put the kids to bed. Hey, let's, whatever, Thursday night after we put the kids to bed, put nothing on the calendar, plan nothing. Like, let's just spend time together. Let's just play cards. Let's just hang out. Let's have a little dessert. Like, let's do something together to just simply connect. That matters. And I want to go back a little bit as you begin to talk through some of the things in this meeting. This is not a meeting that solves everything. This is not a meeting where you want to fix everything. When we go to that number 3 and we're checking in emotionally, like, I'm not trying to fix whatever it is that you're telling me about. I just want to hear my spouse. I just want to hear you out. We just want to be able to hear one another and say, oh, I'm so sorry that happened, or you feel that way, or that's heavy on you. Like, what can I do to help? Not, here's what I think you should do. This is not a fix it meeting. This is a check in, hear each other. How can I help meeting? And again, that leads us to that connectivity portion. Maybe that's where you say, hey, I've been thinking and praying about what you said, and I want to help you. I want to help you tackle this thing. And that's where maybe you bring some answers, where it's not that 10-minute meeting in the evening. It's that time you set aside in the week to really deeply connect.
Yeah.
That maybe that's where you can bring some solutions to the table. And if your spouse doesn't want to hear a solution for that thing, okay, great. Move on to the next thing.
And sometimes, maybe you do have time in that moment to dive deeper and go into things deeper. This 10-minute check-in is meant to just be kind of a launching pad that just keeps that communication flowing throughout the week.
Yeah.
Like, I just have this picture of, like a garden. You start seeing these weeds pop up, and it's much easier if you're out there every day and you're just pulling a few weeds here and there than it is letting it go for a month. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, we haven't talked. We haven't connected. Like, we have no idea what's going on in each other's worlds. And then you're overwhelmed with the amount of things that you need to pluck out or talk about or deal with. And so this daily check-in just keeps, we talk about like keep the first thing the first thing.
Yep.
Of course that's the Lord. But past that, it's our marriage. And if you and I are not in alignment, then everything else is going to fall apart. We're not going to be the parents that we need to be if you and I are off. We're not going to be the business owners that we need to be if you and I are off. Everything is predicated on our relationship with the Lord and then our relationship with each other. And so this daily meeting just allows us to make sure that if that alignment is starting to slip, we can quickly get it back on course.
Yep. And just a few quick rules that make or break this meeting. Number 1, this is a meeting to fight. No fighting. Like I said before, we are not handling everything. We are not fighting about this stuff. We are hearing each other out. We are biting our tongue if we have to. And we are just enjoying these few minutes together to connect and get on the same page. Number 2, no distractions. We're not doing this with the TV on. We're not doing this while we're watching our favorite show. We're not doing this in the middle of a rummy game. We're not doing this in the middle of scrolling on our phone or trying to knock out some work real quick.
Or with kids running around.
Or with kids running around. This is a no distractions intentional moment. This is a time for us to really look into each other's eyes, even if it's short and sweet, and just connect with one another.
And I'll say too, for some people, this is great in the evenings. For us, this is usually when it happens. Our kids go to bed a little bit earlier. And so that's kind of our time, it's very intentional so that that's our time to connect. Maybe you and your spouse are both early birds and you like to get up at the crack of dawn. And so maybe that meeting fits better for you in the beginning of the day. Or maybe for some people it's midday. Maybe you both work from home and you have a standing lunch date that you can kind of have that time together. It doesn't matter when it happens. It's just that it happens.
Yep. And last but not least, keep it short. Keep it short and sweet. Laugh together, pray together to end it. Don't take yourself too seriously. When you look at the week, even if it's overwhelming, just say, hey, thank God we're in this together. Thank God I have you to help me get through this tough week. It's going to be great. Encourage one another, pray with one another. And then just allow this to be a blessing to your life. Allow this to, don't let this stress you out. Don't freak out if you miss it one night. Like this isn't something that is something that you should feel pressure about every single day. It's like, no, this is just something to help you, a simple way to help you and your spouse get on the same page every single day and to just stay in alignment with one another. Remember, God blesses things when they are in alignment. God's presence is in alignment. We serve a God of order. God wants your marriage to be in order. He wants your communication to be in order. He wants your home to be in order. And this is an easy way to make sure that it doesn't get out of order. This is an easy way to create peace in your home and to create peace in your communication with your spouse. We encourage you guys to do this every single week.
And what I love about this is at first it may feel like something that you're having to pencil in the calendar, but then it so quickly turns into habit. Yeah. And then that turns into routine. And then it just becomes part of your marriage and part of who you are. Yeah. And we don't have to intentionally set aside this time every day anymore because it's just how we end our day, And so that's what we are believing for you and your marriage as well. And hey, we mentioned the Vision Weekend. We do have resources available for that as well. If you search our episodes, search Vision Weekend, you'll find a few episodes on there that kind of explain that more in detail. And it is this 10-minute meeting times 100. Yeah. And we're going into all the details and dreaming together and all that fun stuff. We also have resources available that will guide you through that, a workbook that you can download. That's all found at greatermarriage.com. So hop over there if you haven't already. Take a look at those resources and you can always connect with us there as well. Thanks so much for tuning in and we'll see you next time. Go be great.